Energy.
The energy, the free energy?
Yes, of course.
Ja, ja, die freie Energie, wir müssen, es ist ein Generator ist das, da gibst du einfach Strom rein, ja, minimal, und der verstärkt die Quelle, also gibst jetzt 1 kW rein, 20 kommen raus, also das 20-fache produziert er. Und du kannst das dann auch wieder, diesen 1 kW mit Solar machen oder Wind oder egal was.
Yes, you have to, the machine has the ability to multiply the energy that you give into, let's say you put 1 kilowatt of energy into the machine, and the machine has the ability to multiply that by the factor of 20. Meaning, you give 1 kilowatt in, you get 20 kilowatt out. And now we come to the question where you get the 1 kilowatt that you put in, for example. Where do you get it from? Here you can use, for example, we have used solar modules to do so, free energy, clean energy, which you can also set up at any place, which is not even connected to an electrical grid. For example,
That's what I'm talking. We're talking about. Yes.
If you are in the jungle, for example, you have sun in the jungle.
I'm afraid to go because I think I'm a monkey's uncle.
But you can take your water bottle back afterwards.
Water bottle. I think that's why he took the water bottle from me because I'm his uncle. Go ahead.
But let's say you're not connected to an electrical grid. You can just set up the machine over there. You can take electricity, let's say, for solar modules, solar panels, which you just set up, and then you can, let's say, have 1 kilowatt, and with this machine you can multiply the 1 kilowatt into 20 kilowatts permanently.
So there's no need to pay any bill.
No.
And we're tied into the grid. We're tied into the grid. Am I right?
Of course.
We're tied into the grid, and what we don't use, we sell back to the grid, and they make.
And now that's the question. You know, if you have a village which is not connected to any grid, then you can't sell it back. But of course, if you have the ability to generate.
But the village doesn't have any grid, then how does it work in the village?
Yeah, it depends. For example.
Divine intervention?
You need the sun.
That's when you need. Yeah,
Er spricht ja darüber, wie es verteilt wird, wenn du sozusagen eine Maschine hast für ein ganzes Haus.
Ja,
es gibt ja nicht für jede Hütte eine Maschine.
Ja, wie normal Verteiler auch.
Ja, ja.
Well, would it be smart to maybe establish a grid?
I mean, I don't know what the exact electrical infrastructure is. If you don't have any electrical infrastructure, then of course you have only one source. Well, at least you have then one source of energy.
I have never seen a place in Indonesia without a grid, without any electricity. I haven't.
Okay.
But I'm assuming, and which is a mistake to assume, but I'm hearing that there are places that don't have water and don't have electricity. And if they don't have water and they don't have electricity, I don't know how they're living.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
What I know of many places, even in the Arab countries, no matter Saudi Arabia or wherever, you have a huge lack of energy. And with this technology, you know, even in places, in big countries like Saudi Arabia, you have quarters in big cities who have a lack of electricity of 3 to 4 gigawatt. And the problem is with this technology, you have the opportunity to multiply that even in regions, probably not only the Arab region, also Indonesia, Asian countries, where you have that lack of energy. So first question is, you know, it's a question of how well established the infrastructure is at that point. Let's say if you have a certain electrical grid, all these houses, these are huge apartment houses, for example, at the example in Saudi Arabia, but they have all electrical grid. You can plug in any kind of lamps into the plugs, but the point is you don't have enough energy. And with this technology, you have the ability to generate energy, free energy, clean energy, and you are not focused and you are not depending anymore on the big electric
and it's possible
company.
Again if they connect in a grid, right?
Yeah.
And you're not using all your energy, they will purchase what you're not using and they sell it back to their people.
Yes.
So that they utilize it and they make money too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes sense, and it makes the person who helps the person who's bought the machine. It helps them pay for the machine as well. Eventually, it pays for the machine.
Yeah.
then eventually he's getting everything for nothing.
Yeah, and it's absolutely different than you, for example, talk about, let's say, a revenue of a photovoltaic park or something, because the difference here is that you use, let's say, one solar module or 2 or 20 or 100 solar modules, but the interesting thing is that you have the multiplication factor of 20. And with this multiplication factor, you don't talk about the question how much energy is needed and how much can be sold or delivered somewhere. It's free energy anyway.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a question of revenues or something like that.
Understand.
You know? You have free energy anyway, so there is no much the question of is there the opportunity for making business out of that, because that's not the issue anymore.
But some people might think that, but not the people in the hills. Some people who will purchase it will have enough energy as it is. They'll have it, but they're looking to make an extra payday. And and they could buy 3 or 4 machines, for example, and put them in different places, right? And they could, the people could use them and get the free energy, and then what's on top of it, sell back to the electric company.
Yeah.
An electric company would give them a paycheck, basically.
Yeah, but if you think...
You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah, I know what you're thinking.
Because I'm thinking that the big guys will probably buy a lot of them, and that would screw up the little guy, in a way.
Probably.
So we have to be very careful.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, but comparing, let's say, to...
But it won't happen in Indonesia, because the president and the Sultan and others won't allow it.
Okay.
It won't happen there. It might happen in the United States, because it seems like that's been the history of the United States. The big guy eating up all the real deals that are coming through, and then they use them and they make a ton of money, and the little guy makes nothing. When in the beginning it was supposed to happen for the little guy.
Okay.
The little guy always has been cut out.
True.
In this case, we can make sure about that too, because we're in control of the product.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
Especially with you, those 2 guns you've got are huge.
It's all at the moment just a financial issue.
Walter's got that shotgun he's ready to use.
Probably. Yeah. It's only... the question is not the technologies are ready, and we have showed them that this is not, let's say, an idea on paper, which might be nice to be...
This is produced.
This is produced.
This is.
All the practical tests have been done, and they were all successful. So from now on, it's just a question of scaling.
It's sort of up to us with the bunker. It's sort of up to us to open it, get the money, and make this thing happen, and get the approvals from Indonesia, so that we can make this thing fly with the clinics, with everything, from the healing computers to the cancer machines, where you just put your hand on them and you know immediately if you have cancer or not. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be there 5 times a day.
After each cigarette, you smoke?
I don't smoke, never. And I don't drink anymore, so that's a good thing too. But with all the shit they're putting in our skies with the chemtrails and everything else, you've got to wonder, in the pollution that we've got, you've got to wonder what's going to happen to us and how it's going to happen. So it would be nice to have that, say, once a week.
Okay.
Once a week, you find out you're okay. But if you have the healing computer and you got the clinic and you're doing that, you're going to find out anyway. Plus, you're going to find out everything else about your body. Now, I have a friend who has a protein problem. Okay? And we've talked about this before. And we believe that the healing computer will take care of that protein problem. Am I correct?
Ja, könnte sein, ja.
Because we know other people with protein problems who have won because of the healing computer, just so you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, this should be a win-win, where my friend gets better by utilizing the... So I'll bring the healing computer and put him on it, and let him... I don't know how many times it's going to take for him to get better, but he should put some weight back on, and he should be able to, I say, eat protein or drink protein or whatever, or take it in.
Yeah.
That'll beef him up again, make him healthy.
Yeah.
He looked like he was a tough guy at one time.
I'm very smart.
Yeah, he is very smart. He's very, very smart. But he was like one time he looked pretty beefed up, pretty healthy, and then all of a sudden something happened, and it seems like it hurt him, and he lost his weight. Well, let's get this thing straightened out. We got a lot of work to do.
Yep.
And once we finish it up, or once I get there, and we do the things we have to do, we should be off and running. I mean, I've already told everybody we'll bring 50. We'll have 25 computers one place and 25 another, and that'll be the beginning. We'll take care of the clinic that we're talking about in Sukabumi, in Indonesia, up top, and it'll be a nice place because it's on the ocean, and it's not a place where many people actually go to, but it's got a lot of people up there. But it could be a good place for a resort, and for the people that need help. You know, so I believe that's really good. This is really good with the hands. The free energy is important for the people in the hills and in the cities, the ghettos and so on, who don't have it. They have the grid there. They just don't have it. And we should also worry about the homeless. And I think I can handle the homeless part because I know somebody who makes homes like that for the homeless, and it doesn't cost anything. And again, it comes from Peru, and it comes from the jungle area because of the wood. But remember, Indonesia has wood, a lot of wood. Yeah, it has a lot of wood. And rather than them selling it out to the United States, the teaks and everything, they can build homes for almost nothing.
Okay.
And we could put this thing together there too, with the grid, with the energy, with everything else, and we're off and running.
Yeah.
We're helping. Then you become a matter. Then you become a point. You know, because you're taking care of all these things, and there's many other things, and you've got more things than this. I already know.
Yep.
This is nothing compared to what you've got.
Yeah.
And we can't talk at all because the people are going to say, Jesus, you got everything, why do you need us? Well, we need you because we need to build.
Yes.
We need to put somebody in those homes. We need to put somebody using those things. And if we don't have you, we can't help you. And this is what this whole thing's been about for a long time. And there's some battles coming up, and don't think we don't know that. I don't know in particular. There's some battles coming up, and there's some things we're going to do. Danielle will handle a lot of it because he understands legalese. Okay, you got the Bretton Woods Agreement and stuff. We have to take the legs out from underneath it so they no longer have it. If they don't have it, they don't have the IMF, the BIS, or the World Bank. And we can do that because we're going to have enough money to do it, and we're going to have enough money to shut them down someday soon. It's their turn. We're on our way. We're coming. We're on our way. And when we come, we don't stop. We got the best offensive line in the game, and we got running backs you haven't seen yet. Okay? So, I wish you all well right now, and thank you again to the Asian Insider. Thank you. And thank everybody else for participating with us throughout the years, because we're now coming to an end of this situation, or a beginning of a new situation, which is going to help you all. And let's hope everything works as it should so we can move forward. I wish you well. Have a great day, Walter.
Yeah.
You want to say bye-bye?
Bye. Bye. Bye.
He's as cold as ice.
I speak no English. A little bit.
Bye.
Bye.
You want to say bye-bye?
Okay.
Of course. It was a pleasure to be with you.
Yes.
My friend.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure, Walter, again, as always.
Okay.
And it's good to have you people listening to about some of the things that will happen, because the financing will be there, and the product is already there, and it's going to be in our hands to get this thing done. It all is. So we'll talk to you later. Wishing you well.
Wunderbar.
And bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Oh, by the way, I am in good health now. I am more spastic now than ever.
Okay.
So I wish you well.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
No.